Hey y'all, I'm Jasmine. Let's rap for a little bit. Because what? I'm gonna wait. I might sound a little crazy when I explain this, right? So this is the thing about me. And I don't know, maybe some of you guys can relate. But do you ever have the forethought to do something, like something keeps nagging at you to do something and you don't do it, and then the thing that your mind or whatever was nagging you about ends up becoming a reality, almost like you were foreshadowing something to come to pass? Yeah, I hate that. It's all because for whatever reason, I do not be following my first mind. Something will tell me, something I normally don't be thinking about. It'll be like, hey, you see this? You see that? You should do something about that. Me, my response is whatever. Whatever. Again. Hey, look at that. Look at that. You see that? Look at that. Look at that. We need to do something about that. Again, I'm like, whatever. Let me be lazy, because usually the laziness is what gets me. Again, something really will nag me in my head, and it's like, you see that? You see that? Fix that. Fix that. Do something about that. That's gonna be a problem for you later. And again, my lazy ass. Yeah, whatever. Follow your first mind, kids. I'll give you a scenario really quickly. So I create content. Normally I'll think, yeah, I'm about to record or I need to record, whatever. However, there are some times where my mind is persistent, where it's like, you need to record, you need to record, you need to record, you need to record, you need to record. And sometimes I don't listen. And then something happens where it's like, told you should have recorded. For example, recently in December, well, this month when I got sick, something kept telling me at the end of November, you need to record, you need to record, you need to batch record a whole bunch of freaking content and edit it. Stop putting it off. Get your ass up. Get up, get up, get up. I didn't listen. What happens? I get sick and I didn't want to do anything. And then all I hear is something in my head saying, you should listen to me. I told you so. It's just so freaking unserious, bro. Like, I really need to start listening to whoever, the guardian angel, intuition, I don't know what to call it, because whenever something tells me, focus on this, pay attention to this, move, I need to start doing it. Like, at the very least, I pay attention when it comes to going places. For example, I'll hear something, like I could potentially be about to go somewhere, and something will tell me, you need to stay at home. And I'll be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna stay at home. I got this vibe that I should stay at home. And then come to find out, something ends up happening at said event or someplace, you know what I mean? Or it's like, even if somebody else goes, maybe me being there could change the way stuff ends up coming out, because I could make a decision that ends up making us do something else, and then something happens. I don't know if y'all follow me, but because it sounds crazy, but it's some sort of forethought thing where it's like, you really gotta listen to that inner voice, even if it's about something simple. Like, listen to your inner voice when something tells you, hey, this right here, you need to focus on this. Because the reason why we keep thinking about it is because there's something that's potentially gonna happen if we don't do something about it. But yeah, checking my vitamins. Take your vitamins, kids. Drink your water. I really wonder what the impact was of them Flintstone vitamins that we was taking as kids. Do they even still have those anymore? I used to like the grape flavor and the red flavor one the best. I didn't like the orange one. Like, I wanted to eat them last, but then I got smart and started mixing them up, because I hated when I got to the bottom and it would just be a whole bunch of orange ones. Throw the whole bottle away. And I'm so glad I don't have to cook tonight, because I made chili yesterday. We gonna have leftover chili and leftover cornbread. Love that for me. Y'all, so I concocted a new freaking sandwich and I absolutely love it. I told my husband, hey, you want a chicken sandwich with a hash brown on it? And he laughed at first. It was actually really good. He had pepper jack on his, I think, and I put American cheese on mine. Boy, game changer. If it's a question of my love, you got it. Baby, I've been making plans for you. I've been making plans for you. Okay, I'm done. So I went over my mom's house. So my mom and my aunt, my baby brother, my little cousin, they gave me some gifts. I'm about to share you guys what I got, because yeah, I went over there after Christmas. I was really thinking about it. I really got 11 people gifts, and it was like a collective of gifts. It wasn't just one thing. Actually, no, I got 12 people gifts. This year, Well, 2026, we're buying gifts ahead of time. That is the plan. Alright, so my cousin, my baby cousin, he asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I told him paper plates, right? He laughed. Yeah, I know y'all probably gonna judge me, but I really don't be liking to wash dishes. I wash dishes every single freaking day, and we rarely buy paper plates. But he got me some paper plates and some paper bowls. I was like, thank you, thank you. And I know y'all probably like, that's a gift. It is for me. It is for me. Because this way, I don't have to wash dishes. Like, I have to wash pots and pans, obviously, and utensils, but plates, don't have to wash that. So got this bag. Also, I love a good bag because we can reuse said bags. Okay. My aunt, she got me a whole bunch of headbands, which we love. Because I did say I was going to get me some headband wigs and actually wear them like headband wigs. So she got me a whole bunch of those. I'm going to put that with the rest of my headbands. My mom, I'm assuming she got a big set and she shared some of the set with me. But she got me some sewing stuff because I do end up sewing things for my husband from time to time. Like if something gets a rip or something, sometimes I'll sew stuff for us. Blankets, shirts, jeans, whatever. Because I've repaired stuff for him over the years of us being together. And then my mom, she got me this shawl, which I feel like I have one other shawl, but I really like the color. And let me put it on to show you guys what it looks like. Actually, I have a couple of shawls, but that's what it looks like. It gives rich. I just have to have my makeup done in a certain hairstyle, and then I could just be like, you think you're better than me? You thought. So I really like this, and I feel like this is good too because I can use this for backdrops for photos of products I'll be taking next year. Like, you really gotta find ways to use things in more than one way. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's really cute. It's big. It's warm. It's long. So my aunt had asked me, because I was talking to her about how I went to the dentist, and this year, a girl did not have no cavities when she went. Appreciate it. You know, I am so thankful. And one of the things that I have to thank is Caress Gum Detoxify, and she got me a pack of them. Greatly appreciate it because I need it. I swear by this stuff. This stuff is so freaking good. I'm gonna talk to y'all about my teeth dental journey sometime next year. It'll probably be a little series that I do, to be honest. This right here, get you some. It'll be linked down below in the description box because transformative. I had deep pockets when it came to my gums. Healing, okay? Healing. I also got this from my aunt that I really love. It's a Snoopy Sherpa zip jacket. It says stay cool on it. Hit the slope. I love this. It's so freaking cute. Love it. Because I love me a sweatshirt. Then she also gave us an air fryer toaster. Because one of the ones she had was back ordered. She ended up buying a toaster oven. And then they still shipped out the toaster oven and told her she could keep it. So we got a new toaster oven. So I'm going to be experimenting with that next year. Really hype about it because it comes with an air fryer. So yeah, I'm really hype about that. Then, ooh, I got too excited. I almost broke it. Oh my gosh. Okay. My husband. I love him so much. I appreciate him so much. My husband got a 3D printer, right? Now, I didn't think anything of it. And I'm not going to cry again. I'm not going to cry again. But my husband got himself a 3D printer. And he explained when he first bought it, I'm going to make you a whole bunch of different stuff. And I was like, okay. The day after Christmas, I was washing dishes and he walked up to me and he kissed my forehead and he was like, you know, I love you, right? And I was like, yeah, what's going on? He made me the Sailor Moon crescent moon staff, y'all. And I'm so freaking happy about it. I cried. I literally cried because I have wanted this since I was 5. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry again. But I have wanted this since I was 5 years old, bro. Since I was 5. And every time I saw it, it was $100+. So yeah, I have my own Sailor Moon Crescent Moon staff, and at some point in time next year, I'm probably going to paint it. And you know what it means, right? We're going to be cosplaying Sailor Moon, and I have never cosplayed Sailor Moon. I don't think my entire cosplay career, because I do have a cosplay career. I've cosplayed a couple of characters. If I remember, I'll put up some of the characters I cosplayed on the screen. We're cosplaying Sailor Moon in 2026. And I know he already sick of me because I literally just be walking in the room and I'm like, I am Sailor Moon, champion of justice. I swear, one thing about my husband, he definitely be healing my childhood in so many different ways. He really just is one of the best gift givers, I must say, truly. Because who'd have thought at my grown age, I would finally get my coveted Sailor Moon Crescent Moon wand with the silver crystal. Queen Beryl will be so displeased. Anyways. Okay, I don't know if y'all watch Sailor Moon, but there's this girl that I follow on Instagram and TikTok, and she comes up with scenarios that the villain of Sailor Moon, Queen Beryl, will be doing. So she'll be like, yes, go ahead and buy our toothpaste so we can zap your energy. Queen Beryl will be so pleased. I love her content because it just gives me so much nostalgia, but a lot of the stuff, the scenarios she come up with is very relatable. But yeah, I'm so happy about this. And I asked him, because I was like, I didn't know he was going to make something this extensive. And he's made some other cool, really cool 3D stuff lately within the past 2 weeks. I asked him about some other stuff I wanted him to make me, and I'm excited. I will say, it hit different dating somebody who's into different hobbies because it rubs off into me either liking his hobbies or me connecting my hobbies with his hobbies. So like he could make me cosplay stuff and I can cosplay. I don't know, it just, we fit together, you know what I mean? But it's so cool. Again, who'd have thought in my 30s I would finally get the coveted Crescent Moon wand? Who'd have thought? Not me! So yeah, I'm really happy about it, as you can see. But yeah, hopefully I will be able to use everything that I showed you guys. We're gonna try to use everything that I got for Christmas next year. Hey y'all, let's chat for a little bit. So I was thinking about something and I wanted to share with you guys a little thought, a little something to consider when you're dating, okay? I think it is very important to date someone who has hobbies. And I feel like this is a topic that is not discussed enough. When you date someone who normally has hobbies, in my opinion, from what I've seen from other people, they tend to be more happier people, right? They tend to be more happier, have more of a things where they can hold something, they can hold their focus. They also don't necessarily get into mess as much depending on what the hobby is. I'm not saying it has to be an expensive hobby. It could be something as simple as reading, because you could get a library card. If they like working out or watching wrestling or watching anime, you know what I mean? You should date someone who has interests and not someone who doesn't have any interest. When you date someone that does not really have anything that is a hobby, they either will get into mess or they will make you their whole world. And this is a problem. And I think that a lot of people do not realistically think about this. There are a lot of women who believe they want their man to be absolutely obsessed with them. Now, there's nothing wrong with a little obsession where he has your best interests at heart. But there's a different type of obsession that comes with somebody that does not have things to do, okay? Because I know I've dated people in the past who did not have no hobbies. They were controlling, extremely possessive, made me their whole world, where they wanted to clock in with me, see what I was doing, wanted me to hold the phone. They not talking about nothing. They not doing nothing. If I wanted to do something that was my hobby, or if I wanted to do something with somebody else, it was oh, you're choosing that over me, or you don't want to spend time with me. It's like, no, I want to spend time with you, but I also want to do things by myself. They very much were them-centered, where it's like, me, make everything about me. Bro, get you some hobbies. Having hobbies is healthy. You should have something that helps you de-stress. You should have something that could potentially be a distraction from life as long as it's healthy. You should have something that gives you a different focal point amongst whatever you got going on, whether it's work or, if it's a skill you want to develop. Hobbies can be good. How do I say this without it sounding outrageous? Because now that I'm older, to me, if somebody don't have a hobby, I would consider that a red flag. But that's just me because of how I think. However, some people, they just haven't found the right hobby. And I will say, some people who do not have hobbies or like things that they like to do, I do feel like some of them people are closed-minded. I really do. But that's just me. As I was saying, it's good to date someone, and it's good for you yourself to do something for self-care, do something that makes you feel good, do something to distress, decompress as a hobby. Just something to think about. That's all I'm saying. All right. Now we are going to discuss New Year's ritual results. If you guys don't know, or if you did not watch it, I made a whole video almost a year ago last year where I shared with you guys certain New Year's traditions that I did in order for me to see if it would bring about some sort of blessings for myself in 2025. So, here's what I did. Bringing into New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, so midnight, I wore a green shirt for money and wealth. Get that change. I wore polka dots on my sports bra, and polka dots are supposed to symbolize good luck and prosperity. I ate greens, black eyed peas, cornbread, and I made sure that I did not clean on New Year's Day, because you're not supposed to clean on New Year's Day because it washes away the good vibes. It's supposed to wash away the blessings that could potentially come into the new year. So you're not supposed to clean on New Year's Day, and I made sure that I did it. The greens are supposed to signify money. Black eyed peas are supposed to signify coins, and the cornbread is supposed to represent golden opportunities. So, how was my year? Financial wise, rocky. The beginning of the year was not great. Financial was not great. Debt, if you will. Struggle, if you will. However, the turning point was August for me. That was when I started seeing motion. Movement. And then the rest of the year after August has been pure greatness, bliss. Can't even talk. That's how amazing it is. In the video, I mentioned that I wanted to have something where I was getting consistent cash monthly, and did. I did end up getting a new job where I'm actually working for somebody, working for a company. And I love that for me because I've never been in a position where I was actually working for somebody in this way, to this capacity. Normally, I've just been doing the entrepreneur thing, but this time I was able to secure a position and I make money where I get a bi-weekly check, which I love that for me. Good luck and prosperity. Well, I started off the year with a cyst, ovarian cyst, if you will. Now, I do believe I had one last year. I just did not get diagnosed for it. With the experience that I had, I was able to have it resolve on its own without me having to have surgery. I do feel like the cyst was stress-induced because I was financially stressed. However, as time progressed, God was looking out blessings up. Now, I also have to mention too, it is very important that we do not wait for life to make changes for us. This is something that I really want to mention because I feel like so many of us will sit back and hope for things to just happen for us, opportunities to just come to us. A lot of times you have to go out there and make your own opportunities. You have to go out there, put yourself out there, make things shake. When it comes to getting a job, try different things, apply for different things, look into other fields that you could potentially make money. You don't have to go to college, you could go into a trade. I also want to say not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. I'm gonna just say that because I feel like so many people are talking about hustle, be an entrepreneur. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is good at it either. I'm not gonna say I'm bad at being an entrepreneur. I just think sometimes the economy changes, the climate changes. However, there are a lot of people where the focus is I'm gonna be my own boss. I'm gonna be my own boss. Yet their customer service is trash. Yet their marketing strategic plan is trash. You have to make the best moves for you. You have to be willing to make things shake on your own. Not everything is just gonna drop on your lap. That could even apply to dating. Not everything is going to drop in your lap. If you want to meet somebody, go outside. Go do something. Do an activity. If there's a local event, go. You don't have to go with anybody. You could go by yourself. If you're a woman, I recommend you going during the daytime, obviously. Take yourself out. At the very least, just to enjoy the experience of being out and about. Even if you don't meet somebody, in the event that you do want to meet somebody, you will not meet somebody staying in the house. I know a lot of y'all will get on these dating apps. That's not it. I've heard way too many bad stories about the dating apps. I know it's hard. However, leave the house. Multiple times a month, leave the house, okay? Do not think that these dating apps are the end all be all to meet people, because a lot of times, a lot of these dating apps don't have the best people on them. Put yourself out there. When it comes to work, finances, see what's available to you. Do your research. Look for options. I don't condone AI that much of like using it, but if it helps you, look up different methods to do things, different ways, different resources. The internet is free. I have met so many people that don't do research. You know, even with YouTube, you have to constantly be learning. If you want to do content creation, you have to constantly be growing. YouTube is not just a I'm going to keep posting and not try to learn anything. It's not just about editing. It's about your content. It's about your delivery. It's about your engagement, your personality. How does it come across? It's about the topic. Is this topic even something somebody would care about? You have to really look at things efficiently and effectively. Nothing is going to be given to you. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes opportunities will arise, but you really need to put your best foot forward. And that's the plan for 2026. I realized this year was really about going for new things, for trying new things. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself or keep yourself in a box. You do not have to stay in the same place. You can grow. You can change. You can pivot. I did a whole video about everything I learned this year because it was a lot to be learned. But really take chances and do your research. That's all I'm saying, because again, so many of us think that you could do these rituals and expect things to change. For me, things didn't change until I started putting things into motion. Until I started asking questions, seeing if there were opportunities out there for me. And when there was, I was like, wow, I can do this. And did. It's just something to be mindful of when it comes to putting out the New Year's rituals and stuff. I do feel like what you put out, you can potentially get back. However, you have to know when to pivot. You have to know when to make changes. And that is something I am constantly learning myself. I do feel like God blessed me a lot this year, and I hope he continues to bless me. I'm very grateful for everything that I have acquired, that I have maintained this season, this year, and I hope to continue to maintain and acquire more in the years to come. The other thing is, so the other ritual that I did, that I always do with my husband, is we do the New Year's kiss. Now, I'll be honest, I don't remember ever doing New Year's kiss with anybody else before him, so I'm assuming it just works, you know what I mean? But of course, like I said with anything, you have to be willing to put in effort, maintain, show affection, show attentive care, be understanding, be willing to listen, be willing to support. When it comes to relationships of any sort, whether you're dating, whether it's family, friends, you do have to be willing to be present for people, listen, hear what they're actually saying, understand them, not be antagonistic, not be aggressive. You do have to be willing to work with people if you actually want to maintain relationships with people. Alongside of speaking your truth, you know, if you feel like someone has wronged you, you have to be willing to evaluate if a relationship is worth it. Like I said, this could be with dating, with family, with friends. I know for me, I had a specific situation that I was dealing with, trauma, if you will, and I did have to address the certain situation with said person, and for years, that situation brought me a lot of negativity, like a lot of overwhelming feelings. However, when I actually addressed it and got all my feelings out, man, do I feel lighter. I'm not gonna lie, this is the lightest I've ever felt in my whole freaking life because I actually got out my feelings and confronted them. There's nothing wrong with confrontation as long as you're respectful. There's nothing wrong with getting out how you feel. Do not bottle stuff up. That's another thing I want to tell y'all. Stress slays, okay? Not in a good way. Stress can impact your health. And so many of us hold things in. So many of us are stressed out with work, finances, so much stuff out of our control, which is why, another reason why I feel like it's good to have hobbies. Another reason why I feel like it's good to, if you can afford it, go to therapy or find some people you trust that you can actually vent to. Journal. Write your feelings down. Write what you're feeling. I repeat, do not share everything on the internet, okay? You don't have to share all your feelings and what's going on social media. Not everybody needs to know your business. Not everybody needs to know what you're going through. That your man cheated on you. Not everybody needs to know all your business, okay? When you share too much information on the internet, it lets more negativity in. But also, I just want to say, create a safe space for yourself. If you're stressed out, make sure you find some place where you can vocalize whatever is weighing on your soul, whatever is weighing on your heart. Do not contain it. Do not keep it within, because again, stress is deadly. It's not healthy. Make sure you figure out how to do some stress management, all right? What else was I gonna say? I really be getting to rambling. I completely forgot what else I was gonna say. But yeah, the New Year's rituals, I don't know if they really worked or not, but I will say what worked for me was putting myself out there. At the end of the day, put yourself out there. Go for what you want, girl. It's a mindset. Or boy, whoever watching. The mindset is what's most important when it comes to you changing your life or you making better moves for yourself. You gotta think positive. You gotta think optimistic. That's something I'm gonna work on. You gotta speak life into yourself. You need to set goals and actually work towards those goals. If you got a big goal, break it down by month. Let's say you want to save $1,000 by the end of the year. Try to put in $80 a month aside into a savings account, high yielding or regular one. Do that. And then by the end of the year, try not to touch it. You'll have $1,000 saved up, girl. We really gotta put our best foot forward, you know? We really gotta try. Life really goes by, you know? I told a couple of people, I'm like, man, this year went by so fast. But when I reflect on all the things that I did this year, your girl did a lot. I have a lot of accomplishments. You know, they may not seem big to other people, but they're big to me. They're things that I am proud of. Don't let anybody belittle your wins. It could be something as simple as you got out of bed, took your shower, brushed your teeth, and you ate breakfast today. Celebrate that. You're living. Celebrate that. I don't know. I feel very motivational today. I think it's because my husband surprised me with some food. I love me some food surprises. But yeah, I'm just saying, you know, life will life, but it's okay. You're the main character. Okay, you could do whatever you want. You could be whatever you want to be to a degree within reason. Okay, let's not be unrealistic. But you can do things. What is it saying? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Make your plans and put them into action. Don't let your dreams still just stay a dream. Put those goals into reality. That's the word for 2026. Make it a reality. The possibility is endless. All you gotta do is try. There's this girl on TikTok where she made this video where she was saying her goal was to get 1,000 rejections. I'm getting tingles just thinking about it. She basically applied to so many different things. She got a lot of yeses within her applying to so many things she thought she was going to get rejected for. And when I tell you brilliant, I have never thought of anything like that. And I'm just like, wow. I don't know. It's just, life is a beautiful thing, even with all its ups and downs. Even with all its downs. You can do a lot of different things, but it's up to you whether if you want to do anything. You do have choices. You can make the choice to do anything you want to do. Do not blame other people for your life. It sucks that sometimes we do make bad decisions and we do have to live with them. However, within those bad decisions, you learn. You learn, you know what, I made a mistake, but I won't make that mistake again. You can also use it as your, what is it called, testimony. This is what happened to me, but I got through it. These choices I make led me down this path, but I got through it. There's a lot to be learned in life. We will always stay learning. You will learn till you die, in my opinion. You can grow till you die. And as long as you're breathing, you can change things. You can make your reality different. It's all up to you, man. But yeah, I'm gonna leave my video on that note. Because again, I'm starting to get a little preachy. You know, I'm getting tingles just listening to myself. Ooh, it's hot. I can never, like, just be completely serious the whole video. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm gonna do one more video, and then yeah, that'll be the closing out for this year, and then we're gonna hop into next year. But I hope you guys are doing well. Please make time to do something for yourself. Do a little self-care if possible, wherever you can. Don't let life get you down. Keep going. Keep pushing. Never give up on yourself. But stay blessed, stay positive.